Hello guys and girls, this is Nocturnal Culture from Dark Throne and you are listening to Thomas Eriksen's podcast.
Howdy everyone and welcome to the Thomas Eriksen Podcast. I am Thomas Eriksen and this is obviously my podcast. To those of you who do not know me, I am the creator of the Norwegian black metal band Mork. We have 4 full-length albums out via Peace Wheel Records as of 2019. A 5th album is on the way. But that is top secret, right? Because of these crazy pandemic times, my band Mork hasn't been able to play any gigs. And that is basically how I got into doing this podcasting. And but now it's been, I don't know how many weeks, 14, 15 weeks or something. And we have already played one live streamed show actually in front of only cameras. But thank you very much to the ones who actually attended our show via the internet. You were 35,000 strong. So thank you so fucking much for that. There you go, I swore as well. This upcoming Saturday, Mork will be on stage once again in front of the cameras. But this time there will also be a few audience members. I think they were allowed to let 70 people in, I think. We are playing the Oslo Streamfest 2020, which is being held at the venue Blå in Oslo, Norway. So looking forward to that. And if you're tuning into this now before the event, which is the 27th of June, please stop by. Buy yourself an electronic ticket and join us over the web. If you're not in the pit, that is. I don't think there's much news other than that. We are always rescheduling and planning upcoming shows and tours. So as soon as that is ready and we have a bit more control over what the pandemic may or may not bring, I guess those dates will be announced. We are very excited to tell you that we are going to do a couple of tours. If it will be this year or next, we shall see, but we will be out there. So just stay tuned at socials and whatnot. And regarding socials and web pages and stuff, feel free to support me, my podcast, and my band and ventures by visiting the official Mork web shop and pick up some vinyl records, some CDs, t-shirts. We just received a new batch of patches for your battle vest. We have stickers. I don't know. We have everything. What do we not have? You know. Just keep supporting physical products and music. That's basically the point here. So thank you very much to the ones who already have and the ones who are planning to do so. This week, I'm back. This is actually the first time in the podcast's history that there's been a gap. Since the very first week of the pandemic, I've been releasing a new episode each week, every Wednesday. But due to some confusions and cancellations regarding interviews for the podcast, the couple 2 weeks that's just went by, I ended up not having anything out there for 2 weeks. So, but now I'm back, and this week I'm joined by a very interesting gentleman who happens to be a founding member of Satyricon, and he was also in the very beginning of Ulver, and he has done lots of stuff, but he's never been that much outside of the creative realm. He's not been much on stage or in the media, I think. His current band is Dold Vorde Ens Navn, which is a new black metal project by old black metal musicians. And I'm not talking about old in age-wise. They are older than me, but they are, as I said, he's from Satyricon, the early days. He started playing metal in the late 80s and stuff like that. And the other guys are also from the scene back when. He joined me for a chat, and this is, of course, Håvard Jørgensen. And stick around. It's a fun chat, and there might be some things in here that's never been mentioned before. Some headlines, if you like. But I won't spoil that, so just stick through, and be with us. And catch you later. Bye!
Var det morkpute?
Ja, tro det eller ei. Det finnes kun én, da. Det er kun den. Ja. Og så trøkket på den har blitt helt gult. Ja. Så det blir ikke noe mer enn én heller.
Nei. Dårlige greier.
Ja, man må ha merchandise, vet du.
Ja.
All right. Once again, I'm joined by a special guest in the podcast. It's not a studio, it's a living room, actually. This guy is a really fine guitarist. He's a fine gentleman, as far as I know. I only met him once before. He is actually a founding member of Satyricon. He's been in Ulver and a bunch of other bands. And today I think he's active with Dold Vorde Ens Navn, which is his current black metal project. I'm talking about Mr. Håvard Jørgensen. Welcome!
Thank you. It's good to be here in the basement of. You told me this is an old Mork, yeah. It's nice and chill here.
Can you feel the vibe?
Yeah, of course. It's, I can feel the death. No, I feel at home.
That's good.
Yeah.
Are you like a kind of person who can actually feel energies?
I don't think so.
No, me neither. I'm just cold dead.
Yeah,
inside.
I know. I have feelings, but I don't know if I can feel any other. I can feel energy, but I think it's my own energy. Hopefully, I don't believe in the. I was more into that maybe when I was younger, and like everybody probably is believing in ghosts and stuff. But yeah. I'm more. What do you call it? I'm you grow older, and I
wiser,
and I found that the older I get, the less I believe in.
the less you give a fuck.
That's also, yeah. And that's a nice thing, to be honest. That's a bonus of getting older, is that you give more fuck, and that's nice, because there is so much shit going on that should not bother people.
Oh, I completely agree. And but while you're young and believing in ghosts, I remember when I was a teenager, I wanted to believe in ghosts because it was the magic and the mystique and the scary factor. You know, that is part of what triggers you that you are creative and making up music and concepts. If you're all dead inside and don't believe in shit, then I don't know how you can be creative. You know what I mean?
Now, I believe that it has to come from somewhere, and for me, it's always been like that. It's something just has to come out. Yeah. So I never spent much thought about why and how and things are making me creative, but there is something in me that I want to either show to other people or just to get out of my system. And music has been a channel for me to do that. And I think that's basically what it is for most artists and musicians, that you have an outlet for
frustration
or happiness or sadness or feeling that in general. It's always nice to yourself. You play guitar, and I can remember so many times just sitting with my guitar and zoning out.
Yeah.
And lose myself in a riff or a melody or something, and maybe 2 hours later, and is it night already? Or
it's the best thing in the world, you know.
Yeah, just to zone out with an instrument, or it's like a trance. So, I like that.
We are actually quite lucky that the two of us, or people like us, has found this outlet.
Yeah,
we are not running around and being bullies to people or shooting people. You know, we have found our niche.
Yeah,
so that's a good thing. No insane asylum for us yet.
No, but it's no, I don't think so. No, I was just thinking that maybe we are already in the asylum. But
I think so. A private one. Okay, we should go back to the beginning and what made you into who you are. So first question.
My mom and dad.
You really?
made me.
You weren't shaken down from a tree?
No. I was dug up.
Where are you from? Where were you born?
I'm born in Oslo.
Oslo boy, okay.
I'm an Oslo boy. My father is from the north, and my mother is from Trondheim. So I'm half and half north of Sinsenkrysset, as they say. But I'm actually born in Oslo, so I've been living there all my life.
Yeah,
still live there. Yeah.
And how was your childhood?
My childhood was...
How is it to be a child in the big city?
It used to be great. I hope it's still great. But I was brought up in a suburb, Stovner, which is for the Norwegian audience. Maybe they have some thoughts about being raised in Stovner. There's been said a lot of bad things about that place or that area in Oslo, but
is it really urban in a way?
Yeah, it's always been urban, but it's not urban in the way that in the center. But what was a good thing about that area, that was a lot of kids there growing up, and so you had I had a lot of friends, and you had a lot of clubs. You call that youth clubs?
Yeah. Yep.
So you had always a place to go if you were, and there were sports, and it was a nice time. I think it's a lot of the friends you had back then you still have, and also in the musical aspect, it was a lot of bands in that upper part of Oslo.
Okay.
East north part of Oslo. So it was very easy to get into playing and meeting other people that was into music.
Yeah.
So my childhood, I was think like most other. I think it was
Ordinary Norwegian childhood.
yeah, more or less. Yeah.
You went to the cabin on the weekends and stuff like that.
No, I didn't do that. We didn't have but my father had a farm, or still had that farm up north. So we didn't go there for the weekends, but I used to go with him. My mother and father are separated very early, so I used to spend 3 weeks with him every summer in the north.
Where is that?
It's a place called Leirfjorden.
Where
It's Helgelandskysten. It's a very beautiful place.
Yes. I've been up there.
Yeah, a lot of islands and mountains and fjords and.
I love Norway, man.
I simply love it too.
So this summer, everyone needs to holiday in Norway.
Yeah,
the Norwegians, and that's not a bad thing.
No, I like that, and I just hope everybody is not going there. Because I'm going there, and we
shouldn't have mentioned it. Say another name.
Tromsø. Go to Tromsø.
Yeah, that's the cabin, the farm. Okay, so you started elementary school and junior high and stuff like that, and I guess you, like everyone, you meet new people. How did you get into the music kind of thing, or was that an experience you had before school, the music part?
No, not really. I remember my great grandfather. He was a violin player, and he built Stradivarius copies. So I was lucky enough to be alive for him to get to hear some stories and see all his violins on the walls. He also actually built one guitar, which I inherited from him from 1920s or something. So
wow.
So I have at home.
My not to destroy your story here, but my great grandfather also played violin actually, but I never got to meet him though.
No, that's
he was a barber, barbermester Eriksen, but he died I think the year before I came along. So you got to meet your great grandfather.
Yeah, he was the only one I got to meet. The other one passed away before I was born. So he lived till he was some 90 or something. So
lucky guy then.
Yeah. So that was my first real, I think my first real experience with another musician, or yeah. But when I started in junior high, we had this great. I don't know if they have the same. I don't think they have the same music classes in school that we used to have, because we had this great music teacher. He was very into classical music, and he was also into Beatles and Stones, and he was also into some popular music. So he was very interested, or he was his main goal was to teach us about each period.
Yep.
So we got and we also learned to play the
blockflöte,
the flute. Like, you know, it was,
that's so shitty.
but when we just in sixth grade or something, I think we started to play guitar. And I remember that very well, because we didn't just learn to play Tom Dooley and stuff. We learned to play Beatles. We learned to play popular music and
in
everything.
school.
In school, yeah.
Wow.
So he was very, and we had this valgfag. What do you call that? Extracurriculum or something?
Yes, perfect.
In school also with music, and we actually did not go and learn music, but we learned how to put up a revue. Show,
yes.
So we had dancers, we had singers, we had to write our own music, and he was just facilitating, but we was probably bad to hear and watch, but it was 12 or 13-year-old kids, so it was a perfect opportunity to just
You practice your creativity.
yeah. So it was a great time being 12, 13, and at the time, and I also played in like many of my friends. We were pushed into playing in the school band,
Like corps.
corps.
thing?
Yeah. So I've been down that hole also.
Marching band is it? It is.
Marching band, yeah.
Yeah.
So I played the trumpet in there, and I did that for maybe until I was maybe 14, 15. And then one day I was supposed to. I remember my first day my first week having a guitar, because I always had my classical guitar or my acoustic at home. It was an all beaten down guitar with actually plastic strings. It wasn't nylon; it was plastic, so it was really
Kind of a fake guitar thing? Like
it was. I remember it was black thin strings, so
Wow.
it was you can do like this.
rubber band.
It was, but it was a way of just trying to play.
But you could have it in tune?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
or I think so.
Ahead of its time, I guess.
But I doubt they stayed in tune very long. But you could tune them. But I remember I getting my first electric guitar from my mother, and I was supposed to have to play in a concert with my trumpet, and I just decided there and then that no, I will never play trumpet again, because I hated that. It was okay when I was maybe 9, 10, 11 to just have to meet my friends and play, but
But were you any good?
I think so. I worked my way from third cornet, as they called it,
Yeah.
up until the solo trumpet. So,
But is this everything under the name brass? Or is that the wrong
trumpet
terminology?
is brass. I
It
think
is.
that's a brass instrument.
Yeah. You know, the flute thing in the elementary school, I never learned it. I was only
Recorder, I think that's called in
recorder.
English.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's it. That's true. I never learned it.
No, I learned the basics, but man, was that terrible. And 20 kids trying to play the same tune.
Blowing too hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that was terrible. But it was music, somewhat.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I decided just to stop with my trumpet, and I remember telling my mother that I'm not going to that concert, and she said, "Yeah, you have to. They are depending on you."
Yeah.
No, I'm not going. So I never showed up, and I got some bad stares. Many years after from the korpsleder.
The manager or the
the
leader.
manager,
Yeah.
But I remember the first guitar I had. That was an Epiphone SG white. My mother bought me, and
Cool.
Yeah,
G400.
I don't remember. I tried to find it again, but it wasn't.
Does it have dots in the inlays or squares?
I think it was squares.
And
maybe.
a small pickguard.
Yeah,
That's a G400.
that's a black pickguard.
A small one
Yeah.
beneath the humbuckers.
Yeah,
And that sounds like a G400.
yeah.
I had one of those in red.
I can't remember who I sold it to, but I would like to have that again, just for.
Of course, nostalgic purposes. But I didn't know they delivered that one in white.
Yeah, it was.
Was it brand new from the store, or was it pre-owned?
No, it was brand new. It was, but it was a 2,000 NOK or 200 euros. Guitar back then.
Cool.
Was in maybe in 1988, 89 or something. Yeah.
And that's a good guitar.
Yeah,
So that was the first one, electric one.
that was my first electric. Yeah.
Did you get an amp on the side of that?
Yeah, I had a small PV amp. I don't remember the model, but I got a small, maybe 10 watt PV.
Condensator thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Transistor.
Not transistor. Sorry, not the tubed one.
No. That was the first, my first, and I didn't have an overdrive anything, so I was just cranking the shit out of it and playing rock.
Cool.
Yeah. And I had some buddies. My next, I was in a flat, so one of my buddies from the oppgangen ved siden av.
Yeah, the neighboring flat.
Yeah, neighboring flat. He was also playing, and he also had his guitar, and we had this in each oppgang.
Yeah, hallway.
What you call oppgang?
Isn't the hallway
Entry or
entry stairwell?
Yeah, we had this
entrance.
Yeah, it was 5 entrances in each flat, so it was.
It's apartment building.
In apartment building, yeah.
Yes.
And each one of those entrances had what we call a bomberom.
Oh yeah, a cellar.
Yeah, a cellar. And we used to have and the kids were all, there were ping pong tables, there were, the older dudes were pumping iron, and we were...
Bomberom is actually bomb shelter.
Bomb shelter, yeah. It was a small...
Was it built for that purpose? Just in case something went down, literally?
Went south,
south of heaven. Yeah. Okay, so you got to use that room because your parents were tired of you shaking the walls in the flat.
Yeah, but we they encouraged us to have something to do, and so we were just me and my friend to start with, and then we had another guy coming in who played bass. So and we were just fooling around with all Kiss and Metallica riffs, and
So I was going to ask about that as well. What was your first rock band, or your first idols, or record, or whatnot?
I don't want to tell you about my first CD because that's very, very embarrassing.
Then you should.
I should do that. I remember. It's just digression, as we call it in Norwegian. But
digress.
I remember my first CD player because I had the cassette player.
So no vinyl?
Not at that time. I was just 14, 15, so vinyl was not... My father used to have some Beatles records, but I didn't have any vinyl yet.
But this is like the mid-80s, late 80s?
Yeah, I had cassettes, and I remember the CD coming.
But the CD, coming, it was brand new.
Yeah. So my first CD player I got for Christmas, and one of my cousins, she bought me a CD, and you can never guess what it was.
Oh, she bought it?
Yeah.
Then you're innocent. I have no idea. What could
it was Dirty Dancing, actually. Dirty Dancing.
That's not that bad.
No, but it was a big thing back in the 80s.
Patrick Swayze is a good-looking guy.
Used to be.
Yeah, used to be. That's true. Oh, man.
Too soon? No.
No. It's too late.
He was a good guy, I think. Yeah. But my first meeting with the more rock and roll, I think that was that must have been Kiss and Metallica. That was the older guys in the neighborhood, they were listening to Kiss.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be Ace Frehley so bad. I remember I was so into Kiss, and
but you were into the makeup era?
Yeah.
Because by that time they had been without makeup for almost 10 years.
I think Animalized or something was just out. I started with the beginning. I remember I started buying all the cassettes, and then I bought all the CDs, and now when the vinyl, I started buying vinyl when I was maybe 15, 16.
Okay.
So then I bought all the Kiss on vinyl as well.
Yeah.
So, but that was the start, and also with Metallica, my first Metallica record I think was Justice for All. Which is also
brand new back then.
I was brand new, and that is still my favorite. I think Justice for All album.
It's a cool record. I like it.
Since I like all the previous Metallica stuff. I haven't heard so much the new actually. I tend to drift back to listening to what I used to listen to in the late 80s or beginning of 90s.
That's your comfort zone.
But that's
how it is.
Yeah. But that was the start, I think, and I spent a lot of time then trying to figure out how to play the basic Kiss stuff and I think it was a good way of learning also, because it's not too technical, and it's very the riffs just work. I think the early stuff is very good riffing, and it was easy for us to just jam out to Kiss.
Yes.
And also Metallica. The Metallica was a bit harder.
And Justice for All is not a good album to begin with.
No, and we never played anything from Justice for All. It was more like Master of Puppets and the stuff, Ride Lightning and also Kill 'Em All. But I think that was maybe around 89, 90. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were about 15 years old, was that it? Or
15,
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
And did you mention you had a drummer, a full band, drummer as well?
Yeah, we tried to, we didn't have a drummer, or did we? I think we have a drummer. But it was...
Full setup in the bomb shelter?
No, we didn't do that. I can't remember how, but I remember we were at least 3 guys, because we were 2 guitar player and a bass player.
Yeah.
And then later on, we moved down to the youth club, which had a rehearsal room with a drum set, and we
on the house kind of thing.
Yeah, you just went there and played.
Yep.
2-3 times a week. So that was my first band, and then
Any of those guys around in music today?
Yeah, the bass player is. He's still playing. I have been playing with him occasionally on other projects, but he's playing bass now in a new band, actually, which is not a new band. It's some friends of mine who just recorded an EP, released an EP with songs that have been laying dormant for 20 years or something.
Wow.
So they are about my age, and they just decided to record it and release it. So,
black metal?
Yeah, it's a hybrid thing. I think it's metal, but it's some influences from the early stuff, and it's acoustic. It's black-ish. It's thrash kind of thing.
Have I heard about that band name, perhaps?
It's brand new. They are called Tales of the Varas.
Okay.
4 songs out now, and I think they will record some more.
Yeah.
From my area, so it's I think it's cool that they are in the past 40s have started to record again. And
of course, it's never too late.
No.
But what happened when you got into that youth center? Did you get to know some new people, perhaps, or?
No. Actually, I didn't meet because my next step then was starting on high school.
Yes.
High school, is that videregående?
Yes.
Yeah. High school. Then I started in my class. I remember it because my hair was getting quite long, like yours is now. And I came in there, and I was the only guy with long hair, except one other, which was Kalle. What is he? Kalle Mikael Eide.
Aggressor.
Aggressor, yeah.
Yeah.
That's his name now. Yeah. And I met him, and he's actually from just a few kilometers from where I was. So I remember seeing him earlier because he played in some rock bands, playing bass back then. And we just started talking, and he and a friend of his had a duo.
Yeah.
And they were looking for a guitar player because he was playing drums, and Vegard was playing bass, and they needed a guitar player. And I said, sure, let's let's just figure out a date and just meet and see and jam. And we went to that youth club that I have practiced earlier, and we just Kalle behind the drums, they got on the bass and me on the guitar, and we just started cranking out shit. And that was basically the start. And then I was introduced to more aggressive styles of music
by those guys.
Yeah, they were more into. I think it was Carcass. I was first introduced to Carcass, so it was more death metal. It was Carcass. It was a band. Kalle was heavily influenced by a band called Confessor.
Wow.
Which had this sick drum player, and you could hear it all over Kalle's playing. He was just choking, and yeah, I'm
arms flying.
Yeah, I'm air drumming now. So that was so. Then I just started to listen to more of those, and then I also discovered Death.
Yeah.
And Chuck Scoldner and his playing, and I love that energy. I love that power that was in that room when we rehearsed. And I don't remember how long we took, because we were a trio, and we didn't record anything other than some just cassettes just in the rehearsal room.
But that was basically death metal stuff?
Yeah, it was black death metal, yeah. That was before we even knew that black metal was something that existed. We listened to Venom, and we listened to Battery, but it wasn't... I've never been a genre guy, but I don't believe that we ever called some. Maybe we called it black metal, but it wasn't out in the open just yet. But
what were you called, the band?
Eczema.
So is that one?
Yeah. So it's a typical death metal band name from that era.
What does it mean?
Eczema.
Oh, basically rash.
Yeah, it's eczema.
Okay. Yeah.
Eczema. It's yeah. And we were very influenced by the likes of Carcass. That was Carcass. I think Carcass was the most extreme thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
because they had this cover, and also Cadaver.
Yep,
was a thing back then. I remember Cadaver also had this eye or something on the In Pain's record.
Yeah,
but I remember Carcass had this. Insanely
gory cover,
with all these dead bodies and stuff, and it was
yes,
and they had this really dark sounding vocals, and it was really mean just to have that sound. So I think we were that sparked some extreme ways of making riffs and music in me, at least.
And then you just went for it and tried to find out how far you can take it, I guess. That's how people...
Yeah, basically, it was getting more extreme maybe, but one of the... I actually found the tape that we recorded some years back in a box, and I just put it out on YouTube. So it's actually a small excerpt of that cassette on YouTube. It sounds very much like the first two Satyricon demos.
Okay.
It was very the riffing at least. So the next step would then be Satyricon, because Eczema led into Satyricon.
Okay.
But because we had we were a trio, and I never sung. The bass player sung a bit, and Kalle sung a bit, but no one wanted to do the singing. so we needed a vocalist. And I remember writing. We wrote also maybe 10 or 20 posters that I brought downtown to the different music stores and record stores, and
Looking for a singer.
Yeah. And some time passed, and I got this call from Sigurd. Wanted to, I can try. Yeah, sure. Come on up, and he came, and one thing led to another. We still were Eczema, I think, and we did one show with the name Eczema. This is kind of a funny story as well, because we attended something called OM. The OM is Oslo Mesterskapet i Rock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a big thing in Norway in the 90s. Something called Norges Mesterskapet i Rock, NM i Rock.
I've been into one of those.
But this was a smaller kind of thing, which is just for local,
regional.
It was for Oslo bands. And we were the only band playing death metal or more extreme metal.
Cool. Yeah.
Because everybody else were playing softer things like the grunge, or there was a lot of grunge bands, and there was a lot of.
So this was in 90 then, I guess, around
91.
91.
91.
Okay. Yeah, Nirvana has just blown up.
Yeah. So everybody was doing the Nirvana and Soundgarden or whatever. And we just went up there and played a couple of songs, which was and column drums, and it was growling, and it was just bad. But we actually won. That was cool. We were just, wow, did we win this? And the prize should have been a demo record in or 3 songs for a demo.
Yeah.
At Stovner Rockefabrikk.
Is that the same place as the youth hall?
No, this was a couple of kilometers away.
Okay.
Same bydel, but same area, but it used to be a lot of youth clubs. I think we had 4 or 5 just in our small community.
Yeah.
So one of them was built as a rock club. They called it the Rock Factory.
Yeah.
And it was a very good place to be. They had a lot of practice rooms. They had a studio. They had a full set stage down.
Yeah.
You could do pre-prod. You could do everything. And the prize was to record a 3-song demo at that place.
Yeah.
But we never got that because they decided that they should give us a diploma instead. So we just
is that any useful with a diploma?
No, it's not any useful. It's
rock out, boys.
So we didn't do any. So we I remember we just because this finals was upstairs from our rehearsal room.
Okay.
So we just took the plaque, or what you call it, the framed diploma downstairs, and we just stepped on it and shattered it and tore it apart and fuck this. So but we got an interview in the local newspaper, and it was funny. It was
cool.
Yeah. And that was the first official and the last official picture, also taken with the first original lineup of Satyricon. Yeah.
Okay. Is that show on YouTube or something?
Yeah, I think I put it up there. I have it also on my phone. I can show you after.
In a video or just recording?
Not the recording, just a picture.
It's just a picture. So
yeah.
the show isn't anywhere out there.
No, I don't think so. No. So then that was. So shortly after that, we I don't remember who talked about it. It was probably Sigurd who started to to talk about this black metal stuff because he was maybe he's been in Helvete a couple of times. Helvete, the old record store.
Yes. So that was opened at that time.
Yeah. I remember also and this was in 92, I think, 1 year later, maybe 92, yeah. So we were down there. We recorded, anyway, we recorded a demo, but after we changed name to Satyricon.
Okay. Same studio?
That was, I think it was another studio, actually, and up this a place called Høybråten, also close by. We recorded a demo which is called All Evil, I believe. The first demo.
Yes, I found. I did a little bit of research and I found that name. That's on the way bottom. That's the first one.
That's the first one. Still has my my name and address on there. I don't have it myself because I got rid of. We printed some copies and we just send it away.
Of course,
like you did back in the days.
That's
and,
what you do.
I remember we gave it also to Øystein and could you sell this in your store? Yeah, you could. And
what did he think about it?
I don't remember.
Because you guys are way younger than what he was, I suppose.
Yeah, way younger. He was maybe 5 years older than me, but.
And Sigurd is your age?
He's my age, yeah, I think.
So the four of you were the same age?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah,
give or take 1 year.
Yeah.
So we actually when we decided to do more black or more darker music, we decided also to change the name because we've been Eczema, and then I remember everybody was given the assignment to try to figure something out with the name. We need a new name, and I actually came up with the name Satyricon. I remember, and I've seen in interviews or in stories all over the world, different places that the name origins from a movie by Fellini.
Yep.
I don't know if I should break that illusion or not, but that's not.
You said A, you have to say B now.
That's not actually the truth, because I didn't know that there was a movie called Satyricon before way later. Actually, I didn't. I know that a lot of guys back then was very into the horror genre and also the snuff things, and also Fellini and the darker movies.
Is that a horror movie, by the way?
I think it's a Greek.
Yeah, that's it. I think.
I don't think it's a horror movie.
It's a mythology kind of thing.
Yeah,
right?
And it's
I haven't seen it.
Orgies and stuff.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's rock and roll.
With male orgies. So
that's rock and roll for some.
Like they did in the old times. But
where did you get the name? Come on.
I did get it from a dictionary, actually.
Okay.
Just going through a dictionary and picking a name, Satyr. I don't remember if Satyr had or Sigurd had chosen that name, or if he chose it because we were Satyricon. But the honest truth about the name is that it's actually a couple of words put together from a dictionary.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Satyr is a mythology.
Yeah, a creature, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was dark and stuff, but it was kind of short. So icon was just put together. So that's
a really strange coincidence.
Yeah.
It's a really good one.
So I'm breaking the illusion, but
it doesn't matter. It's what it is.
Yeah. It was a cool name, I think. It was.
It is a cool name.
Yeah, that's the only band name I put. Yeah, I think it's to the test of time.
Yeah, good one. Good on you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, but anyway, then we had a name.
Yeah.
And then we needed a logo. I remember the first logo was, and then the first cover was actually drawn from a good friend of mine, which still is one of my best friends from my area.
Yeah.
He was he drew that, and we decided let's put that on the cover.
Is that the original the logo that's still today?
No. They we altered that. I don't remember who.
Or it's a more kind of black metal, death metal one, right?
No, it was a very, very easy, just almost like not graffiti, but you know what I mean, just bold characters and.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, printed letters, kind of thing.
Yeah, it was drawn, but it was not. It was not with forks or anything.
Okay,
like that.
No symbolism and
no,
yeah.
Not the first. I think that maybe came on the second demo. I don't remember. But the first demo was all evil, and the second one was Forest is my throne.
Yeah,
which we recorded in because after that there was a time then after the first demo. There was, I remember the bass player, the drummer, Kalle, didn't, this is hard for me to say because it's always been bothering me that he didn't, because we somewhat decided that he wasn't good enough on drums.
Oh yeah.
And that
somebody had to tell him, kind of thing.
Yeah, it wasn't me, but I wasn't comfortable with the decision. But I was young, and it was okay. We have to move this forward and stuff.
Yeah.
And Kalle was still is one of my best friends. So and it was certainly back then. But we decided anyway to get a new drummer, and I remember then. There's also a funny story about Kjetil.
Yep.
Kjetil, he moved when he moved from, I don't remember where he was from, but he moved into my borettslag, my
yes.
yeah.
Yep. We are Norwegians. Sorry.
Yeah.
Your place. Your area.
My area consisted of 10
apartment buildings.
Yeah. And he moved in the apartment buildings above me.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was
the same yard.
Yeah. It was 100 meters away from where I was living.
Yeah.
And I remember everybody talked. All my friends were there from there, and I and one more were into the more extreme stuff and knew about corpse paint and knew about these things. But most of my friends and then my and the people living there was more into hip hop and the rap stuff.
Oh.
So when he moved there, he wore makeup. Outside, he wore eyeliner. He could use some light white pale face. He was in really skinny jeans, and he was in the cartridge
bullet belt,
and he was full on.
So he was like kind of the goth kid.
No, but he was maybe around then. He was maybe 19, 20 years. But everybody was calling him the corpse, like.
Yep.
Har du sett like? Have you seen the corpse? and all of a sudden he was our drummer because Sigurd knew about him. I think he has done some sessions with some other metal bands. And I started hanging out in his apartment, very cool place to be because he had he was very eccentric. He's always been, but he was very into dark music like Schulze and more electronic stuff. And he was also a very good drawer. So I remember he drew my first and only leather jacket with "Welcome to Hell" in gold. I remember on my jacket. I was very proud when I had that, and I was just maybe 17 at the time. So we started rehearse with him, and it was. I don't think he was so much better than Kalle at that point, but both him and Kalle was shortly after very, very good drummers. Kalle is one of my top 10 drummers of all time. He's really, really good.
Yeah.
But Kjetil also he did a good job, and we moved our rehearsal, I think, to Nesodden, quite a bit from where I was living. And
why Nesodden?
Because that was Sigurd was living there, and he wanted us to move there because he had a studio there.
Okay.
Or access to a studio. So let's do that. So we started rehearsing there, and we recorded the second demo at Nesodden, I believe.
In his studio?
Yeah, it was not his studio, but it was a studio that they... maybe it was a youth club also there, but it was something they had at their disposal. So we could go there and record. And so we did the second one there. And that was the time that we started with... The Forest is my throne is more black metal than All Evil, I think.
Yeah.
So that was the first that laid the foundation for also my acoustic approach to much of the black metal stuff that I did later, because we did a acoustic track also on that demo, which later was released also on an EP or something, I think.
Okay.
Min hyllest til Vinterland.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
And that was the first time I've incorporated classical guitar or acoustic guitar into the metal, and I think that was something that spoke to me, and to add some more depth to it and atmosphere.
Had you heard that much before somewhere?
No, but I've. Yeah, I did. The Battery did it, I think, already then, and I don't remember. But a lot of the rock bands and the metal bands have certainly did anything with that, and also the early was it Emperor stuff was kind of with maybe some, I don't remember, because I don't remember so much about the music back then, but it was just you were in this bubble making music and trying to come up with ideas and stuff. So,
but in that period when you went to Nesodden with the band and everything, I guess you were aware of what was happening around.
Yeah.
You know, you knew all the other bands, and you met up at shows and stuff like that, I suppose. Were there like a community thing?
Yeah,
with you guys too?
Yes. I was like I told you when I came, I was very not in the not so much in the scene. I met a lot of guys, and we talked and said hello and maybe had a beer and go to some concerts, but I wasn't too much into that. Actually, I was more into sitting at home and playing.
Yeah. Yes.
So I remember seeing. I did actually go to one concert with Dark Throne. I remember in 1990 or something, 91.
Where?
A place called Bootleg.
Oh yeah. Yes.
That was a cool place. We actually did one show there also with Ulver some years later, and I saw Death in 92, I think, at Chateauneuf with the Cadaver warming up. And I don't remember any more extreme bands, seeing any more extreme bands live. And I still don't attend very much concerts now.
No.
Not that I don't like it, but it's just, yeah.
You have the records at home, I suppose.
Yeah, I used to have.
Yeah. Now everything is in the cloud.
No, but that was more like we used to hang out at Helvete. I remember going into Helvete several times a week, buying demos, and just it was a mysterious place, being 16, 17 years old, and you see all this. But that was more like Sigurd's thing, and I was more like into the making music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So what happened after you did the second demo?
The second demo, then it's when it starts to get blurry, because I don't know, but most of the 90s for me was kind of gone. And I know many people say that about the 80s because of the drugs and the alcohol. I was never into that, but I had some private or personal issues in going on in my life, which I think affected me in a way that that my mind forced or maybe
blocked it out.
But I remember when I quit Satyricon or left the band because this was I think it was in 92, and the scene was just sorry.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just bumped the microphone there.
No problem.
The scene was just floating over with church burnings, and you had to be all this and all that, and you had to wear these clothes, and you had to. I remember we were corpse paint and going through graveyards, kicking over or supposed to kick over tombstones,
yeah.
And I was. This is not what it's about for me. This is so far from. I love the music. I love the atmosphere. I love getting an outlet. I love the darkness. I've always been a dark-minded guy, I think. But
the image took over in the scene, I suppose.
Yeah, it was a lot of imagery, and it was not for me. So I decided to leave because I got an opportunity to also join Ulver at the time, which was a brand new band in 92-3.
Mm-hmm.
So I found more my kindred or
kindred spirits.
Yeah.
You found your place there, I guess.
Yeah, and I also got to play with Kalle again, and because he was playing the drums then.
Okay.
In Ulver.
Yeah.
The first lineup.
But did you do much other than one show and stuff with Satyricon before you left? Two demos and one show?
We didn't do any shows. Oh, we do with Eczema we did.
Yeah, okay.
But Satyricon not. Yeah, but that's where it gets blurry, because I've been told that I might have been into the studio later on to do some add-ons and stuff, and but I can't remember.
Because you are credited on several things, actually.
I see that, and that might as well be true, but I can certainly hear
94, 95, 99.
99 with Satyricon?
It says here.
No.
No, that's a compilation.
Okay.
Sorry, my eyesight is really bad. It says that you play guitars on Dark Medieval Times.
That was the first record, wasn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. It might be that I did some session there. I can't remember. I was in a weird state of mind those years. Yeah. And also, I think also the The Forest is My Throne was also released some years later, I think.
It says here, that's 95. It was a split with Yggdrasil.
Enslaved. Yeah.
Electric, acoustic, bass. It says, you're credited as.
Yeah, maybe. Bass? Maybe from the demo then.
Yeah, that may be.
But I can certainly hear my guitar parts in Min hyllest til Vinterland. If it's me playing or somebody else mimicking me playing, I'm not sure. Sure, but it was the solos that I wrote at least. So
probably you then.
Yeah, maybe.
But who took your place, by the way, in the band?
In Satyricon?
Yeah.
I think it was Sigurd. I think they was just after I left. I think they was just a duo for some time, and then I drifted away from that whole side of the things, and I haven't spoken with him since then. I think
Sigurd. Yeah,
it's not a bad blood thing or anything, but it's just
not natural. I guess. Never.
I met Kjetil a couple of years ago, and he was the same guy, so he was cool.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. I like Kjetil. It's a strange, cool guy.
Yeah, it's strange in a good way.
Yes. Okay, so new band, Ulver.
Yeah.
That is with, is it Garm, his name is?
Garm, yeah.
Yeah. Kristoffer?
I started with them, they released a demo, the first demo, Vargnat. That was probably 92, 93. And I was the first thing I did with them then was to play acoustic guitar on that demo, and I also wrote one song for that demo, which is called Trollskogen, which is a whole acoustic song.
Yeah, I think I heard that earlier today, actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
And that, and shortly after the demo, I think that's when we played on Bootleg, which is the only time Ulver ever played live in the metal era. So
okay,
I think it's a YouTube clip.
Yeah, because Dark Throne is on YouTube from that. I think the house kind of shot the bands, right?
Yeah, it was a very cool venue. We went there. We actually did. I told you earlier about the show that we were doing in school.
Yes.
We also did that on Bootleg.
Okay.
Then it was more kids coming in, but they also broadcasted that on
local TV, right?
I think it was Janko.
Okay, I never heard about that.
No, it was a local thing in Oslo. But and there was a lot of bands coming in there. It was a band called Fury, I remember. Red Harvest, I was there, and a band from here, not Halden maybe, but Equinox.
Fredrikstad.
Fredrikstad, yeah.
Yes. They recorded their debut album in Halden.
Okay.
Auf Wiedersehen is recorded just down the street.
That was a cool album.
Yeah, it's great.
It's a lot of bands playing there, and it was a good place to discover music because you could just watch it on TV. This was before we had MTV and stuff.
Yeah. And
you can also go there, and I don't remember if it was free or maybe just 50 NOK or something just to get in. But
there was no alcohol then, I guess.
I don't think so.
More of a youth kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was a real cool effort by the people who ran that place to do that stuff.
It was more stuff like that earlier. Not so much broadcasting, but there was a lot of clubs. There was a lot of youth clubs. There was a band in every zip code or something in Oslo.
Yeah.
Before
social media, they were social.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Mm. That's gone, more or less.
Yeah, but it was cool. We used to travel to different clubs to see bands, and they were coming to our clubs, and
cool.
It was a nice time.
Then you create a scene, I suppose. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened then later, after you played the Bootleg show and?
After we played the bootleg show, then it was a quick shift of, so to say, inventory.
Personnel, perhaps?
Personnel, yeah. We got, I was a full member then with...
Who was in there at that time, in the black metal period? Who was in the band?
That was on drums, it was Erik Lancelot. He was Aiva Ikiar, he was his band name, or what do you call it, or his pseudonym, or
Yes, AKA,
also known as, and it was on drums, and it was Garm on the vocals. It was Huminge or Skoll on the drums, and a guy called Torbjørn on Eismal, he was called, AKA, on rhythm guitar, and myself.
But one thing we haven't come to yet, what was your AKA? What was your...
In the Ulver era, it was just Håvard.
What about previously?
Because
I saw there were a name in here in the...
Le Marchand was...
What is that?
Le Marchand is actually... it's the... I think it was the guy who made the box in the horror movie, Hellraiser movie.
Yeah.
There was a box that you could tweak and turn, and you get to hell.
Oh yeah.
And Le Marchand was the guy who had made that box, so it was called the Le Marchand's box.
Okay.
So we were very into Clive Barker, and I was reading all these books, and so I took the name from him.
That's cool.
Yeah, cool.
But it didn't stick.
No, it didn't stick. It's I decided when I was through with the Satyricon era, I should probably just give it a... I was never into the having an AKA stuff, so I was just plain old Håvard with an double A. I spell it with an O. But
that's a Norwegian letter. So.
Yeah, so
But look at me. My name is Thomas Eriksen. And I'm known as Thomas Eriksen from Mork. There's never been a name, No. AKA. But I had one. In the beginning, when I made my first demos and stuff, I had a pseudonym or whatever you call it.
Yeah, and that was...
embarrassing.
Was it embarrassing, or was that your name?
It should have been embarrassing. That should have been the name. I called myself Grev Sathanir.
Oh yeah?
What the fuck is that?
Sathanir?
Yes, with an H after the T. Yeah. Sathanir. It sounded cool in my head,
Yeah, but it was a lot of... you probably were not 35 at that time.
Nope.
I remember actually getting letters. That was back in the early shift between Eczema and Satyricon.
Yeah,
I remember getting letters from other bands starting up, and I actually got a letter once from I don't remember, one of the guys in Enslaved sent me a letter. Because I had my name and address on the demo.
Yes.
So I used to get letters. I should have kept them, but I don't know where they are. But back then it was about what's your favorite weapon and what's your favorite. It was a lot of childish questions.
It's cute.
It was very relevant at that time. Yes. It was you were. You need to have a favorite weapon, and but Le Marchand was one of those things. I haven't. No, Håvard is more forgiving because it's actually my name, like your Thomas. So,
but Håvard isn't that from the Viking age? That's an old name, right?
Yeah, that's a Norse name. So,
so Thomas is from the Bible,
I used to.
But I consider it blasphemy by me using it on black metal albums. Yeah.
It's not Christian.
No, it's not. But I was actually at a confirmation.
Yeah.
Around 15 years old, I was somewhere, and this Christian guy, teacher or whatever, came up to me, and I remember commenting, you spelled my name wrong in some paper thing. And I was like, you need to put an H in there because it's not Thomas, it's Thomas. And he was like, you know that, Thomas, that H, Jesus put that in there.
Oh, yeah.
Or something like that, because someone named Thomas back in the ages was named Thomas without the H, and then he put the H in. Complete bullshit, but I never forget that.
So some guy in the Middle East in the year 2000 or 0 was called Thomas?
Yes.
I don't believe it.
Oh man.
Maybe Thomas, but not...
Thomas, that is Swedish.
That's Swedish, yeah.
Okay, we digress. Let's move along the timeline here. So the black metal period was over, I suppose, of Ulver.
No.
Or did you do a lot of things after that first show, and you did demos, I suppose? And
with Ulver?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did most of all of the 3 first albums with Ulver.
Yeah.
So first we recorded Bergtatt in maybe in 93 or something, 94. And that was a cool experience, because that was the first time I actually been into to record an album.
A proper studio.
Proper. It was an old stable. Actually, it was a small yellow stable, cramped in between some large buildings in the middle of the city.
Oh,
close to the central station and Helvete.
Oh yeah, is it gone now?
Yeah, it's encapsulated. I don't know if they have torn it down or something. I was able to take a picture of it because you could see it when you took the train.
Yeah.
Into the city, and I was able to take a picture of it before they build all these new buildings along the street.
Yes.
And it was it was an old stable in concrete, and it had a drum room downstairs. It was I'm not saying that you have a small apartment, but it was like your living room.
Wow.
And you went upstairs in a steep staircase, which always bumped my head, and going up and down, and I was just sitting, crouching in
the control room.
In the control room,
yeah.
But it was a very cool experience, and the outcome was, it was cool.
It's legendary.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that was my first, or everyone's actually first experience with doing an album, and then I don't remember who put it. I think it was Head Not Found or something back then.
That's a Norwegian label, I guess. Yes,
I think Metallion was involved in that.
Yeah, I think it's his label actually.
Maybe.
Yeah, he's from Sarpsborg, you know.
Okay, yeah. I met him several times back then, but me and the history is not speaking, so...
He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Dedicated music lover.
Very, very.
So, what happened?
After that was...
3 albums recorded, I guess. Did you do any show? No, it was no shows until later then.
No, Ulver didn't do any shows until in the 2000s.
Okay, yeah.
After they switched to electronic, and So now we did 3 albums, with the first one Bergtatt, and the second one Kveldssanger, which was a pure acoustic album.
Yeah.
More or less recorded on the go in the studio, I remember.
Same studio?
No, that was another Endless, actually, or the same Endless, but they have moved into another place in Grönland, in Oslo.
Yeah.
They're still having a studio there. Not Endless, but there are still activity in that building still. And it was, I remember, going from that tiny control room and tiny recording studio to a large recording space, recording at night because the subway was going under the building, so it was very difficult to track any acoustic guitar during the day. So we worked a couple of weeks at night, coming in at 9-10 at night, and I was drinking red wine, I remember, and had a candlelight.
Dark room and
It was a very high room. It was a big room.
Good acoustics for the guitar.
And I was sitting there, and the same guy who recorded Bergtatt also recorded this album. So he knew what, and he knew what he was doing, and most of the album was more or less improvised in the studio. I had some of these, and Chris had some ideas for some lyrics, and I think it was my favorite album to record because of the vibe of it back then. Just to sit and be alone in the studio, and they are back in the control room, and I was just sitting there playing my guitar, and this is cool, let's work on that. And he was recording, and we just figured out the album along the way.
That's a very cool way of doing it.
It's much like what you actually are doing today, because today you have the opportunity to just sit into Logic or any software, just clicking and working your way ideas in.
Yes.
But working...
You're not on a tight budget and time schedule.
No, and then, it was also on tape, so we didn't have infinite takes, so... the first two albums were tracked on tape, I remember, and that was also cool to have experience.
Yes.
Tracked to tape and released on the CD. That's cool.
Luckily, it's on vinyl as well. So
in the later years, they have released it on vinyl, but it was CD back then.
Oh man, I can't even remember playing CDs now. Because I've been playing vinyl. You see, my collection is quite vast.
Yeah,
so
it's huge.
I only play vinyl, so...
It's twice my collection.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I sold so many records in the 90s. I don't remember why. I was probably out of money, but the poor thing is that you didn't get much for it either.
Oh.
But...
today it could have been early pressing or something, you know.
Yeah, it was. I had Mayhem. I kept my Darkthrone records, but I sold most of the Bursums and.
Oh man!
Yeah, I remember buying at Helvete Bursum with a Zippo lighter. That was that was a cool thing. I think maybe that's worth something today.
It is. Do you still have it, or is it gone?
No, that's gone.
That's gone.
I have my Kiss albums, and I have my. Some oddities and rarities from I have an Immortal single.
Yeah,
and I have also a single by are they Polish or something? A Klavierstück, Master's Hammer.
Oh yeah.
Cool. On green vinyl.
Awesome.
And but all the stuff I sold, probably to get. Either drunk or getting guitar strings or something.
Yeah. But you found a need for it then.
Yeah.
Most of my collection, there's a lot of shit in there. But I tend to listen to some shit, you know, sometimes.
Yeah, but what I found is I'm very diverse when it comes to music, because I'm not listening to all this and... Of course, there was a time in my in everyone's earlier days when you were very focused on one style or on one band or something. But
that's everyone. Everyone comes from that, and then we realized that it's all about having a good time and listening to music.
Yeah, and I think music is a way of. Atmosphere. It's a way of. I'm always been very fond of melodies, and I like melodies. And if I can find a good melody, I don't really bother if it's this or this genre or by this or this artists. But I think the music is the most important thing. First and foremost, and then you can always discuss. And that's also something I've seen or read later, all these genres and how you put this and this band into this category, and what kind of metal are you playing? Metal? It's always been my answer. I play metal. I feel that...
That's the wrong answer, dude.
Yeah, probably. I saw somewhere that Ulver was black gaze. I remember.
Black gaze?
Black gazing.
Oh, really?
And I was just, what the fuck is black gazing?
Gazing is just standing up and watching your shoes.
Yeah, because I learned that was also...
Shoegazer band.
Yeah, that was an expression. That when you were standing up and just...
focusing on your licks.
Licks and... no contact with the audience and with the rest of the band. You was just...
But you were black gazers? Was that it? Black gazing?
Yeah, because they probably saw that as a parallel to parallel. That's a hard word. Parallel to standing up, and because we had this, especially on Bergtatt, it was very melodic and it was no fast licks and stuff.
No, but perhaps it was advanced licks. But you need to focus a bit, and then you can't jump around. I don't know.
Oh, that's more prog. I never seen us. No, it was maybe atmospheric. Black metal is also a term I've heard later
but that's
years.
more correct, I would say.
Maybe, but for us, it's at least back then we were we were not even black metal. We were troll metal. We were more.
Okay, so you didn't see yourselves a part of the black metal scene?
Yeah, we did, but it was very hard to say it. Black metal was the common divider, or what you call it.
Yeah.
It wasn't so many subgenres back then. It was more. It was black metal. It was death metal. It was
thrash metal.
Thrash.
Yeah.
It was heavy. It was rock.
It's easier.
Rock.
Easier.
Yeah. Now it's just metal. Yeah.
Hard music.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Yeah, and after that, and Kvällsången was recorded. It was quite interesting to see the feedback from the audience, and because we just a year before released Bergtatt, which was kind of hard, kind of metal, and then Kvällsången came with pure acoustic, and it was I think it's.
How was the reception for that?
It was, I think, mostly good, and that was also the first time, because Ulver has always been about evolving, and one of their quotes or slogans has always been evolve, because we did something new for each record.
Yep.
So I think the reception was good, and also in the later years, I've seen that it has also meant a lot to a lot of people, and that's one of my favorite albums, that and Bergtatt with Ulver. I did 5 albums fully, and then a session, a couple of albums, but I think the 2 first one was that meant much the most to me, because it was something really Bergtatt was, because it was brand new and the first time in studio, and the atmosphere and the songs that we recorded. I remember we were very proud of the outcome. Yeah. The same with Kvällsången, because that's a thing that have always been close to my heart, is playing acoustic and the more on low down, or more
soft or not soft, but
but
soothing.
Or the more atmospheric, or in that way, in the acoustic.
Absolutely, and it even amplifies the atmosphere, if you ask me.
Yeah,
as long as done correctly.
So when that was released, I actually moved to Denmark to live 1 year.
Oh wow!
I needed to get away. I struggled in school. I had some personal issues and stuff, and I got this advice.
What were you studying?
Yeah, I got this advice to go to Denmark because I was working part-time at this youth club that we used to rehearse. So my boss at that time, he gave me an advice to go to this school. It's like a høyskole in Norway. It's a school for musicians. And for artists in painters and
it's college then.
It's like a college, but not you don't get any formal degrees or anything. But you get there, and I moved there. I remember in '95, just before I turned 20, and we had recorded or. Either we had recorded or written all of Nattens Madrigal back then, because I remember writing everything on that album at my mom's place.
Yeah.
So it was probably before I left then. Me and Chris Garm, we were often sitting in my room, I remember, with a small cassette player and just riffing out and writing that album, and then moved to Denmark and lived there for a year, and then moved back. Then we released that album, and that was the third time, or the second time, then that people get this hammered in the face with something
completely different.
Yeah, because that was hard. That was a hard record. That was a fast speed and crappy sound. We spent, I don't know how much in post to get a real
deliberately.
Yeah. So it was a very hard record to listen to, because it was very much treble in it, and so you can. It's hard to hear what I play. Actually, Ulver released a box set a few years ago, which had a remastered version of that album, and it sounded much better or clearer.
Yeah,
you could hear what I.
You could hear your parts.
You could hear. Oh, that would have. But that was also a cool album to record, because it was that was the first album we recorded digitally on ADAT.
Yeah,
and we recorded it. I used the same setup as I've done with Bergtatt, with just a guitar and my trusted Metal Zone into an Marshall JCM 800, cranked all the way, and just one guitar on the right, one guitar on the left, drums and bass, and that's it. No overlays, no nothing. So it was very basic album, and it was a very cool album to make.
It's like a primitive black metal setup then.
Yeah. We did that on Bergtatt also, but it was more polished in a way in the sound.
Yeah.
But Nattens Madrigal was just noise.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like noise.
Yeah, noise is good.
And was that your third and last album?
No,
with Ulver?
No, I did also. After that, we did a record called "The Marriage of Heaven and Hell," which was the first album with Tore, Ulver, which is still in Ulver.
Okay.
Ulver.
Yeah.
And then it got. Then we got a switch over to more the electronic stuff.
Yeah.
So I did all the guitars, and it was basically me and Tore and Chris Garm. And I think also maybe Hugh played bass on that one. I don't remember. And then and that was also I like that album also because it's a very atmospheric album. It's a poem written by William Blake, and it's I don't remember, but it's a very long album. It's a double album, and it's very to be in 1998 or something. It was I think it was a very cool album to make because it was atmospheric. It still had this Ulver vibe it was. I still like Ulver this day, and I've been also playing with them on the newer albums from time to time,
like a session guest thing.
And I like the way they are always doing what they want to do, and also there is always a special atmosphere to it. And like I was saying, I don't really bother about any genres or something, but the melodies and the atmosphere and the whole package has to be right for me. And
do you feel that Ulver today has threads back to what you kind of planted back in the day?
I never planted anything. Ulver has always been. I made riffs, and I made songs on the early
but it's your structures.
Not all of them. It's mine and also Chris Garm. We worked a lot together. He didn't play any instruments back then, but we were talking about it, and we were figuring out how to make. So it's not my fault that it's been that. It's always been Garm's
fault
vision or vision. He's the visionary. I'm just a tool in the shed or in the box. I had my
don't
ideas.
be so modest. Come on.
I'm a modest guy, but like I said, I wrote riffs, and I made some music, and I also came into doing that also later on. When I'm been done session, I do my riffs actually. So I did that, and I also did Perdition City. But when Perdition City was very little left for guitars. Actually, that was mainly electronic and some saxophone they used, and and after that it was more or less session work with them. And I also
you basically went out of the band then?
Yeah, but I went out before. I chose. I had some changes also in my life in that period. In 2000, my first daughter was born.
Oh, yeah.
And I needed to get a day job, and I needed to prioritize, and it was a natural way to, or not natural time to step aside. Also with Ulver being more in that path that they were heading,
going towards electronica stuff.
Yeah. But I remember actually getting back then in '99. I had a talk with Chris also. We talked all the time, but he knew a lot of people. I never knew so many people back then, but he would always come and ask me, that band or that band needs a guitar player for a tour in the States or in the.
He was recommending you all the way.
He was recommending me, and but I never got around to do it because I just prioritized different and
family and stuff.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
that was more important at the time, and I was out of the whole thing for 12, 13 years, more or less.
Okay.
Yeah, I was still playing and making music, but mostly for myself, and so there's a gap there for 15 years from 2000, around 2002,
Okay.
until 2014 when I did my first new session work for an artist in the metal scene.
Mm. Which artist was that?
That was Mork.
Oh, the Danish girl?
She was Chris was producing her debut album,
Oh.
and they
She became quite big.
Oh yeah. So they did she had done an EP, and then she was recording her first album, I think. Yeah. And he was producing it, and he called me, and they needed some guitars. So I ended up playing the acoustic guitars on that album.
The whole album?
All the acoustic guitars, it's not so much, but it was a cool thing to do because it inspired me to make some acoustic music again, like what I was doing in Kveldsanger and the other stuff.
Yeah.
So I wrote a song, and I just this works. I just uploaded it to YouTube, my YouTube channel.
Yeah, I checked that out before you came, actually.
And that just was lying there and got some shares and stuff. And I'm not a big YouTuber, so but then I got this mail from a I can't say who it is because it's not official yet. But this was already in 2014.
Wow.
They were asking me if I was ever to do a full album, I should contact them, and because they would be glad to release it.
Okay.
And I was thinking, should I do a full album or should I just continue
Is this a label or a band or
a label?
A label. Okay. They want a solo album from you.
Yeah, they wanted they want to release an album in that style.
Vein.
Yeah, in that vein. So I was back and forth, and I was thinking, okay, should I do this or do that? And in the meantime, I was doing more session work with Mork. She did some acoustic shows after 2 years after in 2016, I think. After the first, what's it called, M album.
Did you travel for those shows?
Not so much. I was asked to do, but I turned down most of them because of I didn't have the time, and I didn't have. I was not ready for it personally. But I did 2 shows in the Mausoleum in Oslo, Vigelands Mausoleum.
Oh yeah.
Which was a very cool experience. It's I don't know if you know it, but it's an old mausoleum built by an artist who he had some high thoughts about himself because he wanted to be buried there, or at least. So you actually go into this mausoleum, which is...
Was he buried there?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's So you go in there. It's a dark, moist place with a lot of drawings or paintings along the side of the room, and it has a natural reverb. I think about 12 seconds or something. It's a huge. It's not a huge room, but it's a huge reverb
chamber.
So I remember sitting there 2-3 hours before the concert and just playing and just having my guitars there just to have them.
So you basically did this acoustic then, unplugged.
We did an acoustic, and that was recorded. So that was her second album, or third, I don't remember. Was released as a live album.
Okay.
Recorded in the Mausoleum.
Wow.
The album is called also Mausoleum.
Cool.
And then I got more inspired to, okay, I like this atmosphere I'm feeling now. So I was inspired to do more acoustic, and I decided to write more songs. And before I knew it, I had maybe 40-50 minutes of acoustic music. And I signed with that label and are releasing it
next year.
Yeah, hopefully. I've been in the mix now for 2 years, but but it's finished mixed, so it just needs to re-listen and see if it's okay, and just push it out.
You need to show me some of this.
Yeah, I can do it.
Congratulations, man.
Thanks.
It's a solo album.
Yeah, it's a solo album.
But is it just acoustic guitars or?
It's it's acoustic guitars. It's a lot of it's the reason that it has been taking so long is that I maybe overdone it somewhat, but there's a lot of strings, there is a lot of instruments, there is
like strings.
Yeah. It's a varied album. It's
Is it any vocals on it?
yes.
Special guests or you?
Can't comment on that online. We will see.
Yeah, cool. I can't wait, man. But we had jumped forward too much now. What happened? You did stuff before this, I suppose. Well, you came back after 15 years, you said, 14, 15 years, and did stuff with Myrkur. How did you get together with Yusuf and the guys?
That was the bass player. He's also an old friend of mine. He was at my place. We were basically just fooling around and just was recorded. We recorded an old trash song just for fun. We were having some beers and just recorded an old trash song.
A cover song?
Yeah, it's a cover song, but it's a cover song by a band that Kalle actually played in.
Okay.
What was you called him? Aggressor, yeah. I know him.
Oh, is it Ora Noir?
No. It was like I said earlier. I knew Kalle somewhat from before I met him in high school.
Okay, so he played thrash before that then.
He played in a local band and they had a song about a local guy, which was a
You should have.
I can show that also to you afterwards. But we did that for fun.
Yeah,
and just to play and to do some riffing and doing some metal.
You need to put in a good word so Kalle can come and do the same thing here.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
And and that was the first thing we did, I think. And then he suggested.
Who is the bass player?
The bass. He's called Kai.
Who is in the band, basically? That's my question. Who is in Dold Vorde Ens Navn?
Oh, yeah. I thought you said who is in the band. He's the bass player. But the drummer, Øyvind Myhrvold.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah.
Very capable drummer.
Yeah, he's decent.
Yeah.
And Yusuf on vocals, and me on guitars, and Kai on bass. Then
So Yusuf play guitars and singing, or only singing?
He's only singing in this project. So
okay.
I'm doing all the guitars.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. I listened to the album today.
Yeah.
And yesterday, and I find it very varied.
Yeah, it's varied. It's kind of
that's a good thing.
It's kind of a mix between I think my style of making riffs which I...
Into the microphone, please.
Oh, yeah.
You're all over the place, man.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
You should blame the microphone.
Yep.
No, but it's kind of a mix between my style of making riffs, which is my style of making riffs, and Yusuf's approach to vocal and more avant-garde thing.
It's very theatrical.
Yeah, it's very theatrical, and I think it's that mix came out quite good. I think it's a good thing to try to not. It wasn't any attempt of making something new, or we were just making what felt okay. This feels good, and I want to do this on this, and okay. That
not trying to do anything. You're just doing it.
So the whole thing was sparked from just sitting around me and Kai, the bass player, and he's suggesting to make an metal song for all time's sake, and we made a song, we made 2 songs, we made 3 songs, and all of a sudden we had 4 songs, and we thought, should we just record it?
Yeah.
And we thought about Yusuf. We should bring him in to sing and Øyvind to play drums. And
is that song on the EP?
the first song? Yeah.
Which one is it?
The first song.
The first song?
Yeah.
Did you make the monotone punk riff that goes over the verse?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
That's yeah.
I come from punk rock, by the way, so
Yeah.
I love that.
I come from so it's my it's a little homage to the old thrash and punk. I was not so much into punk, but punk was more or less before, or that led into thrash.
Yes.
So it was.
Yes.
It felt natural to play that.
And that riff also reminds me of the Dark Throne, the very first Dark Throne Norwegian song. Inne de dype skogers favn, on Andra Funeral Moon.
Yeah.
It's basically that all over.
Yeah.
And simplicity in it becomes art, you know.
Yeah, and
it's not simple because you're stupid. It's simple because it works, and I love those kind of details.
Yeah. It's it wasn't planned to be that, but you know how it is. You just sit down and you stand up and you play, and sometimes the simplest things it just works, and sometimes it's maybe more intricate things, but it depends on what your mood in, and just what comes out. And I always like that process. Just if I like it, or if it sounds good when I play it, I tend to stick to that, not overthink or not revisiting things too many times, but because my experience that the more you go into and try to fix something or try to do something better,
the more you break it.
The more you break it, or you just end up using your
first idea.
Yeah, first or initial idea. So that's
how I make my albums.
Yeah,
one takes. If it's played correctly, okay, move on.
Yeah, that's how that EP actually got written. It was done in just a not so long time. It was I don't remember the time exactly, but it was a short period of time, 4 songs. And
which label is this?
The first album is Soul Cellar.
Okay,
it's a Dutch.
Yeah, because you only have one EP, right? There's not more. There's one EP.
Yeah. And we are recording a full length now.
You're in the process now?
Yeah. The drums are done, and I'm halfway of doing the guitars.
Cool. Home studios?
The drums were done in a studio called Top Room in outside Oslo. Very happy with the result. Sounds very good. The first demo, the drums were the first EP was done actually in Stovner Rockfabrik.
Wow.
The same place that we did the first Ulver demo, and Dimmy Borger did demos there, and yeah.
It's not a legendary studio, but it is a legendary studio, because I know the Transylvanian Hunger vocals were recorded there. You know, stuff like that. I think the first Dødheimsgard was there, I think.
Yeah. And I also that's also I'm going out of line again, but that was also the place where I got my guitar that I used for all my metal stuff in the 90s. I just had one electric guitar.
Okay.
And that was a guitar that I actually I swapped with a guy from here.
Halden?
Yeah.
Really?
He's a really good guitar player from Halden. You probably know who. Holter.
Trond Holter?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Big Bam?
Big Bam, yeah. He was in Dream Police back then. But
I know Trond.
And the funny thing was...
So his old guitar is on the first Satyricon stuff, is on the first Ulver stuff.
Yeah.
That guitar? That's cool.
And the reason is...
what kind of... Was that an Ibanez or something?
No, it was an... I still have it. It's an ESP neck with... a Fender body with an ESP neck, so it was very slim. It was...
yes.
I can't play it anymore. Yeah. So I remember this because I was in the studio. I was maybe 15 years, and he was working there as an engineer.
At Stovner?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a lot of guys coming in. A lot of good guitar players over the years have been, or musicians have been at Stovner because they didn't want to go into the military, so they had this civil service. Yeah. Yep. So I was in there and I was playing. I think it was a Dream Police riff because I listened to that in the 80s, and I was just playing. I didn't know who this guy behind the stuff or the
desk, the board. Yeah.
And he was, I was hearing on the ear that that's a cool riff. The guy behind the desk said. Yeah, it's decent. It's who is it? Oh, it's a Norwegian band called Dream Police, I think, and it was all quiet, and I think I know who that is. And I talked to him just a few minutes later, and he told me that it was actually his riffs, and we started talking guitars. Yeah. And the guitar I used then was a Fender Stratocaster. It was a Strat Plus. It was called. It was my second guitar after the
SG.
Yeah. I bought I saved up some money and I bought a guitar, and he liked it so much, and he told me that but you are into metal and rock. You should not have. You should have a more potent guitar. So he offered me his own guitar and in exchange. I don't know if it was a good deal for me or not, but
just a fair trade like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was a Floyd Rose system, which I hate now, but back then it was cool with the Floyd Rose, and it was active EMG pickups, and it was just going from my blues guitar to this hot-rodded guitar was a new experience for me. So, yeah.
Cool. That's a fun story. You have connections to Halden.
I have.
Yeah. And now you have more.
Yes.
So, basically, we have come to the present day, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
You are in the middle of recording a new album, and is it coming out on the same label?
No.
New label?
It's a new label, which is also not official yet. So,
cool. So news to come then?
News to come. Will be released either later this year or next year. Hopefully we'll get it out soon, but things are taking some time. As I said, I was recording guitar, and just yesterday my guitar amp just so I have that on repair now. So
what kind of amp do you use?
I use an Engel
Fireball.
Fireball, yeah.
It's
a small one. It's a new they have put out now.
Oh, really?
25 watts.
Cool.
Yeah, I have a tiny studio on 6 square meters, so it's.
I guess it sounds good then. So.
It's hot. So I like Engel. I have used that also after I have been using a lot of Marshalls in my earlier days, and then everybody was switching to digital, and I used a lot of digital stuff. First with a rack system. I don't remember the Rocktron, I think it was called. And then it was after that it was the Line 6 stuff, and then I just drifted back to doing amps again, and I like that.
I love amps, but they are a pain in the ass to bring with you on the road.
I've never been on the road, so I don't know.
I have, and it's heavy.
But this 25 watt thing is it's 10 kilo, and you can easily bring it on tour. 25 watts, I think it's more than.
That is
enough.
tubes.
It's tubes, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
You got 5. I'm bad at tubes, but it got 5 preamp tubes, and it got 2 power amp tubes, which is actually the same size. It's a big 6L6 tubes that are in the 100 watt or 50 watt Fireball as well.
Dude, I have no idea.
No.
If I can switch it on and make sound, then I use it. I'm pretty basic.
So I sounded smart now. Huh?
Yes, you did. Smarter than me.
Cool.
Fuck, I need to edit this out.
That's my basic level of knowledge is upstairs. So
yeah.
If it sounds good, it
works.
It works.
Yeah. When we travel on the road, usually we only bring the guitars, obviously, and we use the house amps or the other bands or something. Yeah. And if the amp, as long as it's high gain, I can make it work,
Is it mostly the same amps around, or is it different?
It varies.
Yeah,
it does. So if I happen to come one evening and there's a dry, old, I don't know, JCM, some Marshall thing that is not that high or hot, I always have, it's an Ibanez tube screamer.
Yeah.
And do you know who taught me to always bring a tube screamer with me?
No.
Mr. Trond Holter.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But that's a fantastic tool to have.
Yes, because it gives it a little extra.
I also use the tube screamer but I'm not using the Ibanez. I use the I don't remember. It's a green box, but it's basically the same circuits and stuff. But I also tend to use it on high gain stuff because it's
tightens it, maybe
tightens the bottom end. And
I haven't tried that. Perhaps I should do it.
And I see now on the stuff now that I'm doing now with the Dold Vorde Ens Navn is I tend not to have it too, because that amp is very, very high gain. But I'm never past 12 o'clock. I'm always around 10, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And that amp has a built-in boost, so I use that occasionally just to give it that middle tone boost.
Yeah.
And that's my basic setup. It's I don't use any pedal. I have acquired the later years. I was given actually the heavy metal pedal from the original one that they made in Japan.
A Boss?
Yeah. Which was the Swedish sound.
That's the heavy metal 2. The black and orange one, right? It's HM2.
No, that's the metal zone, I think.
I think that's the Swedish one.
That's the HM2, yeah.
Yes, that's the Swedish one.
Yeah.
I know this guy
black and orange, yeah.
Yeah, I know this guy. He's in a band called Befouled. You heard about that? That's a death metal band.
No.
Pretty recent, but he's your age.
Okay.
Or maybe a bit older. he has this deep fascination with the HM2.
Yeah.
So he's collecting them because they're not being made anymore, you know.
No.
So he has this huge collection of these things and have tried to make a new one and, you know, dedicated. So obviously this pedal means something for some people. Personally, I don't have any relation to it.
I used to use, we used it because I think the Metal Zone, that's maybe the MT2 then. The Metal Zone was taking over for the heavy metal.
There you go.
I think that was in 1990 or something. So my first pedal, I used the heavy metal pedal, but it was never used in any of the recordings. But the Metal Zone, I remember, it was just, and that boxes has been hated by so many. But
you know what? For some reason, I have gotten the impression that those metal boxes are not that usable. Have I just been unlucky with my choices? I don't know.
I used that for both metal recordings with Ulver.
Okay.
I used it in Satyricon. But I saw, and I just plugged in the box and from the box into the input of the amp.
Yes.
But I learned now.
Is that wrong?
It's not wrong, but it's nothing wrong with doing that. That was what I felt was natural.
Because I have a Boss reverb that's hanging in the effect loop.
Yeah.
But it took years, and someone told me that, dude, you're not supposed to put that reverb after your tuner into the input. It sounded like shit.
But I don't know anything about those stuff. And
my point, just to come to the point here, if you push the reverb into your input on the amp and it goes through the high gain, the reverb will be amplified. It will have gain on it.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound pretty.
My thought would be that you do all this time stuff, delays and reverb in the effect loop.
It's because when it's in the loop behind the amp, it's a clean signal.
Yeah,
it's not distorted.
And that was what I learned from watching YouTube. I was just searching for Metal Zone. I don't know why, but I was just searching for it. And I came into this YouTube channel by a Swedish guy.
The Haunting guy?
I don't know the
He's
bands.
a big YouTuber now.
The
blonde one.
Yeah. And he was doing the episode was something, the Metal Zone, is it as bad as they say? And I was just, okay, I need to watch this. And he was plugging it into the effect loop.
Oh.
And it sounded badass. It was so tight and so good. So, and I tried that actually because my JCM 800 didn't have any effects loop, so it was never a choice or it was never any thoughts about doing that. It was just 16 years old. Okay, I got a heavy metal pedal. I just put it in there.
Yeah.
But when he did that, I tried that at home with my Engel, and it sounded decent.
So that's the way to do it then.
Yeah, but now I'm just using. I'm maybe because I'm lazy, but putting my into the Engel and just cranking it, and that works.
Yeah. If it ain't broken, don't fix it.
That's my basic setup, and I would when we go play with Dold Vorde, I would like just to have my guitar and a cable, and maybe a tuner.
I have to ask: have you ever performed live with that band?
No,
that was my thought, my guess too.
We haven't come to that yet. Was supposed to do something now, but the COVID-19 and stuff. It was.
What was planned, by the way? Was it in Norway or?
Yeah, it was one planned in Kolbotn, the
Hellbotn Festival.
And there was a planned one in Romania.
Oh, really? Which one? We played there.
Dark Bombastic Evening, I think.
That's the one.
So
in Transylvania.
Yeah, but we haven't. We need more time just to rehearse. We haven't rehearsed yet. We have Yeah, we've been behind on the schedule with new material, but
I guess all the guys are occupied with different projects and bands, and I think the drummer, he's quite busy.
Yeah, he's he's all over the place. But yeah, he's Død Dem Skar, he's Noir. He's also doing the Webundsende stuff.
Is he in Noir now?
He was doing some live stuff with them.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
last year.
Cool.
So yeah, he's a great guy, and he's a great drummer. So
even I have talked to him about joining me sometimes.
Okay.
When I've been in need of a drummer.
Yeah, he's.
But he's been busy and stuff, and I obviously I understand why, because if you're a good drummer, then you're always busy.
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing everyone is always looking for. That's a drummer.
You need to have a good drummer.
Yes.
That's a good foundation.
Okay, so this is the portion of the show where you can be Gene Simmons if you want to be Gene Simmons. You can push whatever you want, just promotion time.
I felt I've already done that, but promotion time, yeah.
Anything you want people to check out or upcoming?
Yeah, you can check out Dold Vorde Ens Navn, of course. We have one EP out. It's on everywhere, digitally, and there should also be some CDs left to buy. You can go into Soul Seller's homepage if you want to buy the physical copy. Coming out with new material soon. Soon is relevant, but within a year, within maybe half a year, there will be a record out.
You promise?
I never promise anything, because if it's up to me, it will come. But it will come, and that's yeah. I like that album. It's going to be a good album, and it's a first full length with this band, and yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
Cool. Thanks.
I really do.
And that's the band side, and I also have my hjertebarn. What do you call that?
Your passion?
Yeah,
child?
Yeah, my bastard child. No,
Yeah.
but my solo project, which is just called Håvard. It's a full-length album with acoustic, atmospheric stuff.
That's the one you talked about?
Yeah, coming also out within a half a year.
Awesome.
So that's my 2 cents for myself. I've been talking about myself for a long time now, but
You fucking egotist.
yes, I should probably go back to my cave now and just stay out of the
For shame.
stay out of the scene for the next 15 years again. And
Come on,
back.
you're back in it now. Håvard, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me. It's been a good time.
I hope so.
Yes.
So let's have
Absolutely.
another cup of coffee and listen to some music.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll do it.
See ya!
See ya.